For the fifth Sunday in Lent, we return to the Psalms for the text of the Introit. Give judgment for me, O God, and defend my cause against an impious nation. This is from Psalm 42, or 43 if you use a more modern translation. The Vulgate translation uses Psalm 42. What's significant about these Psalms, in addition to being somehow more ordinary and chaste, as I suggested last week, is that in the understanding, interpretation of the Psalms, the Church has typically put the texts of the Psalms on the lips of Jesus Christ himself. And so we hear in this Introit our Lord himself saying, "Give judgment for me, O God, and defend my cause." And this Sunday traditionally was known as Passion Sunday because the Passion was read as the gospel of the day. We no longer follow this, but even so, in the current Roman Rite, we observe a greater austerity during these last 2 weeks of Lent. We cover up statues, possibly. We increase our fasting and so on. And in this, we see Jesus going up to Jerusalem for his final victory, but this victory will go by way of the cross. And I'll come back in a moment to talking about who this impious nation is that our Lord is seeking protection from. We're just going to sing the second phrase of this, ab hómine iníquo et dolóso éripe me. This means, from the iniquitous and cunning man, rescue me. Difficulty people have in reading the Psalms is that we have a lot of texts like this where the speaker of the Psalm is saying, "Save me from this man who is evil," or even in this case, in the first phrase, as I mentioned, from a race, from a people, a nation that is not holy. And it's tempting to see in this human enemies, and certainly in the original context when the Psalms were written, say by King David, in 1000 BC, Israel, the kingdom of Israel, was under attack from all kinds of places, and typically was through a political history. But as the chosen people of God progress through history up to the fullness of time when Christ comes, we come to recognize that really our enemies are spiritual, and what we are being asked for protection against is not so much what people can do to our bodies or even the insults people can hurl at us. These sorts of sufferings we can add to the sufferings of the cross to make up what is lacking in the sufferings of Christ. Our real enemies are those spiritual enemies that would tempt us not to give our bodies over and rather to be the persecutor rather than the persecuted. And so what Jesus is praying as he goes up to Jerusalem is for the strength to resist the temptation to fight back, but simply to accept the judgment of Pilate, to accept the crucifixion, trusting that in the end it is God the Father who will render the correct judgment. And we human beings are fallible, and we can't always see which side our neighbor is on, or if he's even on any side. We do know, however, that evil thoughts, that the temptations that afflict us, must always be rejected. We must always strive for greater virtue. So as we prepare for the fifth week of Lent, we'll sing once more for you, Iudica me Deus.